specifically for V2. So I'm super excited for it. Drop some good stuff in the comments. If you're on YouTube or in the Facebook group, let me know you're there. I'm just looking at things over here, making sure everything's set up correctly. I am still getting used to this new setup. So show me signs of life. Let me know you're there. We're going to be doing a really fun build today that would have been really difficult in V1. Let me refresh, see if I have any comments yet. Okay, drop some comments in there. I feel better when I see that people are connected. So drop comments. I think we're good though. Okay, so we're going to do a build in high level where we're going to engage on web chat, live chat, and at some point we're going to send this person a link to a form, and we're going to require that they fill out this link before we move on to some other stage in the process, maybe booking an appointment. Let's do that. So it's going to be really cool. Okay, so here we have our Closebot account. We got this fancy new walkthrough that talk to us about different areas of the site, getting it all set up for migration for you guys. And for those of you wondering, migration is going to start for people next week. So we're just finishing up things today, and we're really excited about it. Okay, so I'm going to click through here. Cool. The first thing I'll want to do is connect a source. A source is a place messages are coming from. So I'm going to go into my source, and then I'm going to want to add a new source. Okay, so let's click here. We're going to add a new source, and I'm going to select a high-level account, connect, and then you guys don't see it, but another window just popped up where I search for the high-level sub-account that I want to connect to. Okay, and then after I fill that out, and if you guys have connected apps before, you know there's a pop-up. You can search. This is the way V1 worked. You can search for your sub-account that you want to connect to. It automatically will show that here. So we see this updated with the account that I'm connecting to. Confirm here, and then I'll add the source. Okay, just like that. I see it connected. There are no workflows in this, so that's all you have to do to connect a Closebot account to a source. And you may have seen we also have HubSpot. Pretty cool. We have Lead Connector. That's the same as high level, but for those of you white labeling, and if they have their own Closebot account and they want to connect to you, you can tell them to use Lead Connector. All right, so we've done that. Now let's go into the agents section. We need two things to make these agents work. We need a persona and we need a job flow. So here's where our roster is of our personas, and here are our flows. I'm going to connect to an existing persona. I think I'm going to use Sam. I can go in to look at Sam's settings. He's using OpenAI as the primary, Anthropic as the fallback. Sure. Yeah, we'll use Sam. And we'll make a new flow. So this is going to be my live build 5-2. I can add it to a group. I'll just leave it in the all flows group. Now here I select what type of job flow it is. Once you do this, you can't go back. So you can't make an agent that's for a high-level sub account and then go use it for a HubSpot account too. We make you pick when you create because we have certain source-specific actions once we get in there. And I can connect at this time or I can connect later. I will go ahead and connect now. And maybe I only want this on for live chat. And I don't have any tags in that account, so there are no tags to filter on. Yeah, just live chat. Next, we'll create it from scratch. We can also create it from a template, from an AI prompt. We'll do scratch. And then we're dropped into here. We used to just have objectives and statements. Now we have a bunch of things to work with. So let's go ahead and start with, now this is going to be live chat. Someone comes into the live chat and we probably want to get their first name, last name. Now we still need to merge these into one field. So if you want to just get the full name, you can do that without selecting two. But for now, this is how we do it. And then email. Okay, so notice these are stacked. That means the AI is going to be more likely to say, hey, could I get your full name and email address? And if I gave it all that information, it would update all those fields and move on to the next one. Really sweet. Let's go ahead and go in settings while I'm here. I want to put Sam on here. And then why the conversation's happening, I'll tell it this person came in through our web chat on our website. Remember, the business name is, I can use our fancy search here, business name. Cool. Remember, it's super helpful to use variables throughout this, so you can use this agent to connect to a bunch of different sources. I will save and close that. Let's look at some other stuff. Yep, nothing I need to mess with. Cool, so the way this will behave, if I were to go in to test it, it'll just get my first name, last name, email. Okay, now let's take it a step further. After we get that information, I want to send this person a link to a form that I want them to fill out. And then after they fill out that form, see, where is it? Delay variable. So I want to wait until they fill out that form. So I'm going to sit here at this delay. And then after they fill it out, maybe I want to check to see what they put in the form for a certain value. And then if they put in a certain value, have a conversation, otherwise say goodbye. So maybe we're sending them a form. They came in off our website. We got their information. We sent them a form that's going to qualify or disqualify them. And based on how they fill out that form, we'll either say, yeah, we got your form submission and you're actually not qualified for this, or you are qualified and let's chat. This conversation stage, when it's here, it just sits there and answers questions. You can put an extra prompt in here to give it extra information while it's here, or just leave it blank. Okay, let's save this and let's go set up this form. So I'm in my high level account. I'll go to sites, form builder, create new. And let's see if I can get clever. Don't have any custom fields. Quick add, what do I have access to? First name, last name, email. Okay, let's set up a custom field. I'll save it first. We're just going to have one field on this form. Make it bigger. Okay. Custom fields, where are you? There we go. Add field. Radio select. I'm gonna make this super simple. You guys will be able to see this and think how it works with your businesses. I'm just going to make it simple. A form, all we need to know when we send this to them, are they interested or not? Yes? No? Okay, let's go back to that form. And I just want let's delete this other stuff. I'm going to keep the email one, and I'll tell you why. Interested or not? Sweet. We're going to keep the email one. We will make it so it's not required and hidden. And then here's the query key, email. Let's preview this form. So now, fun fact, if I use that query key, email equals, and then if I put some value in here, it puts that on the form. So we're going to use that to inject what we know their email is because we conversationally got it from the contact to automatically know that the person that submitted this form was the person in our live chat. So let's grab this and go back to Closebot. When we send this statement, I'm not going to use AI to generate a response. I'm just going to send it verbatim. So we're going to send that plus the contact email. Call this send link. Okay, so we're getting first name, last name, email. We're sending them a link. And maybe we'll say, please first let us know if you're interested here. Awesome. And I'm going to have to, since I made that field while I was in here, I think I'm going to have to maybe publishing updates the fields. Let's see, because I want to check that field here. Yeah, I don't see it in here yet. So let me maybe exit out. And I'll go back into it. We need a refresh button, or interested or not. So it's going to sit here and keep chatting. So I can choose to have it not respond while it's waiting here, or continue to chat while it's here. Let's allow it to keep chatting. And then we're going to check if interested or not. And what was the value? No, just yes and no with a capital Y. So if it is equal to yes, then we go this way. Otherwise, go this way. And let's have AI generate the response. Let them know they aren't qualified. Let's actually put this here to let them know they're qualified first, and then we'll chat. Is qualified. Use AI. Cool. Okay, I'm checking the comments periodically to see if anyone has any questions. But we have this AI system set up now. So let's recap. We get their first name, last name, email. We're going to send them this link that will already know their email. It includes that in the link. So when they click it and they go to that form, we know who they are. And then we're going to wait for this variable to be filled out before we continue, which is where we check the value of that and then either tell them, awesome, you're qualified, or goodbye, you're not qualified. And if they are qualified, we're going to keep chatting. If they're not qualified, maybe just want to stop responding. Awesome. I will publish that. And let's make a web chat. Website. Just making my test site first. To put a chat widget on a test site, you first need some sort of contents on here. Then I can preview it. Cool. Now I can go make a chat widget, a live chat, and put it on there. Chat widget, add a new one, a live chat. And the default is fine with me. You can edit all your settings here. Remember, Closebot chats through existing communication channels. So any channel that you have set up on your HubSpot or Go High Level, it's designed to work with that. Go back to our sites. So I can put that chat widget on there. Websites. There we go. In the settings, chat widget, the one we created. We're racing against the clock. Let's see if I can one-shot this. Okay. Sent it a message. We get our beloved 3 dots. Okay. First name and email address. Okay, so I see it didn't get my last name. Let's go into here. I can go into the conversation. Got it. So this is something that I need to let the team know. I have, Max is here, so he can listen and relay this. When I made this agent flow, the default is skip if not blank. On first name, we know to count it as blank if the first name is guessed, because when a new chat widget person comes in, it has their first name as guest and then last name is visitor and then some sort of nonsense. So it knew to not skip first name, but it skipped last name because it saw it wasn't blank and the value was visitor ZJCIA. So do the same sort of thing for last name. If it starts with visitor verbatim, count it as blank. Cool. So that's why. Let's go back to the site. Cool. Let me test this. Let me respond. Just test it. 1 sec. Let's make sure it doesn't go on. This is something they released just yesterday. Also, let them know I don't see with it enabled to allow it to keep chatting while it's waiting. It's not chatting while it's waiting. Cool. That's fine. It's something they released yesterday. So I'm excited to test it. Okay. I will fill out this form. Interested? Yes. Okay, let's go and make sure. I don't see it pushing through. Interested is filled out. Yes. So that worked where we sent the link, had the email, we filled it out. It knew it was this contact, so it updated this field, but it did not carry on. Let me go into Closebot and see what's up. Okay, team is looking into it. Max is nodding his head yes. Team is looking into it. So hopefully you guys can see the power of this. And I'm always excited to be the first one to break things. But this is really useful for a couple different cases. Let me bring up some real world cases. Imagine you only want people to be allowed to book an appointment if they pay. You could easily send them a payment link that includes their email or some identifier in that query string for the link. And then when they pay, update a field and have that action after sending the payment link be to not continue until that is filled out. Here, I wonder if I send another message, yeah, now maybe I'm trying to do something. Yeah, not quite. So once they pay, maybe you want them to be able to move on and book an appointment. That's a really common use case that was really hard before. It took a lot of workflow and Closebot magic, sometimes with a bot handoff. That's really easy now. Or we had a dentist office that before they were allowed to book an appointment, they needed to have x-rays sent in. So we can send this link that they can upload an x-ray, and that saves to a custom field. It's a file type custom field. And when that's not blank, when it has a file in it, it would continue. You could even take it a step further and have a separate field for analyzing the photo. Maybe you'll save some text input from analyzing the photo. You could send that to a separate system, analyze the photo however you want, save the text contents in that field. And then when that's not blank, you know it's analyzed and it has that information, and we can continue on. Really, really powerful stuff. Let me check the comments on Facebook. Okay, I don't see any Facebook comments. Let me see if I have some YouTube. I do have some on YouTube. Why does my Closebot not look like this? This is V2 right now, and I'm only doing live builds in V2 because we are so close. We will allow people to start migrating on Monday. So if you go to your Closebot V1 account, you see that in the sidebar, we have a migrate button that is going to start unlocking for people, with the goal being it unlocks for everyone by the end of May. We're going to unlock based on plan type and seniority. So if you were an early adopter, we always reward you guys. Back early days when there were a bunch of options that weren't Closebot and you just had to trust that we were going to be the thing, we want to reward you for that.
Jared said he thinks you forgot to save a note.
They say I may have forgotten to save.
Delay node.
We can test this again. Do I have to save all of them? Oh yeah, it's not filled out. And this is exactly why you guys don't have it yet. So we're working through this stuff, guys, and you will have it when it's ready for you. Check form. Okay. Sweet. Just some saving logic there. Publish. Let's test this again. Let's just test here real quick. And it may have just broken it on this contact now that I messed it up before. But let's test with a new one.
You'll need to save a new test. We'll need to test in a new session.
Test in a new session, he says. Okay. Let me stop this screen share. And I'm going to open a new window and we'll test a new one. Okay. Now remember, it's still not going to ask for my last name. This time I'm Susan. info@susan.com. Powerful Susan. She snagged that URL early. Oop. See what happened there. I think it continued too soon. Maybe. Or maybe it's just on the continue chatting. Here, let's fill out the form and let's see. Okay, there we go. So yeah, because they just released that, let's change it so that it doesn't respond right away when we go to the delay node if it just did a statement node. And that's going to be, I think that's how we handle most of them. If it's like a statement and then something else, we don't do the something else right away. Well, cool, it worked. So I filled out the form. It knew it was Susan that filled out the form and it told me I'm qualified. And it knew because I used the variable that the business name is live build testing 5-2. Sweet. Now to take this a step further, I guess first, explain the different tools. Let me do that. Yeah. If I wanted to take this a step further, we could look at some of the other actions that exist in V2. So we did statement, objective, conversation, stop responding. We used a branch here. We can also, some of these can be normal or AI powered. So we can use an AI powered branch if we wanted to. We could say, check if they seem interested.
He says you're sharing on the wrong screen.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thanks for catching that. I was still on that incognito window. Okay, here we go. So we went through conversation, objective, statement, branch. We can also make this an AI powered branch. So notice how we have this toggle. If I made it AI powered, I could say, this person seems interested. Maybe. And then it's going to use an AI check to check true or false. Does this person seem interested? And then continue from there. Maybe you have multiple cases. Instead of branch, we have this switch. So if you wanted to say interested, check, power of AI, super interested, mildly interested, not interested. Oh, here. Check to see their interest level. Mildly interested, not interested, super interested. Now it's going to be mildly not interested, super interested. This fourth one is like a catch-all. If it decided none of them really fit, it would go through this one. Then we have a time delay. Like instead of waiting for a variable to fill out before it continues, you could choose to instead do a time delay. Like maybe you just want to wait for 5 minutes until you move on to the next stage. You can do that. We have modifying tags in GHL. So maybe we wanted to tag them here. We could do that. You can also remove tags with that action. We have some that we're playing with because we're going to start building a big library of these actions. Like if we wanted to gather someone's address and verify it, or get property details when they gave the address, we have actions for that. Custom webhook, if you have an external service you want to at some point pull in information from, do that. And then these custom scenarios. If you guys are using V1, you're probably familiar with our one custom scenario field. Well, here you can add multiple. And it's always going to start on this main flow, but maybe if this person ever wants to just book an appointment, maybe that's something we offer. And we want them to be allowed to just jump to it. So if we detect this person really just wants to book an appointment, wherever it is in this main job, it'll jump down here, do this thing. And then when it's done with this thing, wherever it was up here, it'll go back to that. Same with, aggression detected. If we want to go through a certain series, if it detects aggression, or a certain series if we detect a bot. Maybe if we detect a bot, we want to add a tag that cues that contact for deletion in high level. Let me go back over to the comments. If you guys have any other questions, please let me know in the comments. Looks like we're good still. Okay, let's get rid of some of these. I'm going to show you our testing portal. It just got an update. Okay, I can come into test and start a new test session. Now here we can see that it's thinking, it gave a response. And if I want to just quickly see its reasoning, I can click on this. It said, "Hi there, to assist you further, could you please share your first and last name?" Click this, and I can see that it's checking first name, last name, email. And then we even get a little summary on why it said what it said. If you want to see the full log, those of you that are used to V1, you're used to clicking on a message, you can click this and see the full log of what has happened. We can also see over here what things it's working on. So let's say that I give it information, Susan Carpenter. Now the form thing is not going to work right now. but it's asking for email. Susan@testing.com. Sent me this. I can see the different stages it's going through here. So that helps you guys see the path. I'm checking comments again. Okay, perfect. So hopefully this gave you guys an idea of how to use some of the newest actions that you'll have access to in this brand new version of Closebot rolling out to everyone very, very soon. It's going to be a game changer for lead qualification and booking at scale, reliably, with high quality. We use up to 5 different AI providers: Gemini, Grok, OpenAI, Anthropic, DeepSeek. It works with HubSpot and High Level and webhooks. So you'll be able to go to our API docs if you want to tie in a different system. We're starting to fill out our support docs. And something else we're really excited about is this leaderboard. You'll be able to come here, edit your username from your settings. So you can tell them your name or remain anonymous. Here I am. It looks like I'm ranked second in responses right now. So for May. And then we can go back and see how April was. We can upload knowledge items to any of our sources. They'll all show up here. I can create a note. You can go in and edit notes that you make so you don't have to do the delete thing and re-upload and reattach. I can do web scraping to either scrape a single website or a whole sitemap. It'll even keep it up to date. It'll check back on a daily basis to see if there have been changes to the website and then update your knowledge base. Or an upload like CSV, doc, PDF. And then once you have your library, you can attach these items. So if I wanted to attach this item to this live build testing, they can be attached on multiple different sources. And it takes some time for it to attach, but it'll attach. And that way you can have maybe you have one website that a bunch of different franchises use and they all use the same website, but then they each have their own stuff too. This makes it possible to do that. And the last big thing that I want to mention is the ability to white label and rebill this. You can white label the portal, set up a nice clean interface for them in here, and then choose how you want to rebill. I don't know if I have the rebill stuff in here. Yeah, it's not in here right now, but you can rebill on user seats, uploads, message volume, and tokens. And you can pick how you're rebilling these things to customers that you've built agents for. So you have multiple different ways to make revenue. The whole goal is to make you guys more money. And so not only have we made this a more powerful system, we've really thought about how we can make it in a way that allows you guys to make as much money as humanly possible. Okay. Thanks, everyone. I will have the recording up if you guys want to check it out and see any areas that you missed. But thanks so much for checking in. We will have more released next time we have a live build. Okay. Thanks, everyone.